is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoying your day. I didn't forget about you guys. That's why I'm in the studio right now making this video to let you know that just because it's Thanksgiving, I'm still gonna give y'all a video, and I'm happy that you guys are watching and continuing to support the channel. But I want to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers today. I'm not thankful for what they're doing. I'm not happy about the Sixers. I'm disappointed in Joel Embiid, even though I'm not a big fan. Ben Simmons hasn't really become what a lot of people thought he will become, and that's one of the top 10, top 5 players in the league. To me, he went a step backwards. And Josh Richardson, a guy that a lot of people was high on, hasn't really impressed as much, especially from the three-point line. And then you got Tobias Harris, a guy that got a max contract to become a superstar-like player with that type of money, and he hasn't really stepped up. So let me tell you guys how I feel about the Philadelphia 76ers. And let's just start off with their defense. And they really made it ugly in a couple games, just like a lot of people thought. They're big. They can slow down the game. They can switch almost everything. And, they never was a great offensive team. Even a couple years ago, even last year with Jimmy Butler, they still had some problems offensively. But he smoothed a lot of those problems out because he was able to create his own shot off the dribble, off the bounce, and for others. But he also stepped up in the clutch. And when you get somebody that can close the game or make people around them a lot better, and makes your team just a lot better and your teammates just a lot more confident, just because they know what you can do and they know that they can rely on you to make plays for them, and they just have to stay ready and knock down shots. But Joel Embiid has been a huge disappointment this year, not just because the injuries and him sitting out games, it's just his play. He hasn't been a dominant force to me because he's very inconsistent. And even though he had 30 the last game, it was more or less just dunks and just outsmarting the defense. And when you look at the Philly, they should be a better defensive team um, in general. You look at their points per game, they only 108.7. That's 18th in the league, and the points they're allowing is 104. That's 26. So not only is there not a great offensive team with a bunch of guys that are great, you'll think their offense would be at least top 10, top 15, and that's just not the case. And Joel Embiid is a guy that has gotten to fights, and he has become a guy that had 0 points in a game. He's all the way down to 21.9, and that's just not going to cut it in the NBA when that's your franchise guy. Not only that, Joel Embiid hasn't stepped up in the playoffs in the first 2 times he's been there, and that's a guy that you're paying $100 million. Not only is he missing games and he's injured, but he's not even translating as a dominant player in the playoffs, and that's why I haven't been a big fan of Embiid. He turns the ball over a lot. He's not the most efficient guy, even though he's huge and he takes up a lot of space. He's very mobile and athletic for a center. His efficiency, his pass, and his decision making years later still haven't improved to an elite level. And the sad thing about it is he's 25, so he's getting ready to get older, and he hasn't been able to figure it out still. And this is a career low to me for him. 46 from the field, you just can't do that when you're a center. 32% from three, which isn't terrible for a center, but you expect more considering that he's been in the league as long as he has. You'll think that he would have improved his jump shot a lot more over the years. He is getting 12.1 rebounds, which is impressive, but he's only getting 1.4 blocks, and you'll think that he'll be more dominant on that defensive end by clearing the paint and packing the paint, but not only that, rotations that help defense. And actually, 1.4 blocks is the lowest in his whole entire career, including his rookie year, sophomore year, and junior season. And not only that, 21.9 points per game is his lowest since his rookie season, which he averaged 20.2. So Joel Embiid has been a headache, and he hasn't really become the guy that they wanted him to become. And Jimmy Butler, like I said before, was the man in those playoff series last year, even though this was and still is what people say Joel Embiid's team. He hasn't stepped up and become the leader that they need him to be. Al Horford, he has shown decline, especially offensively, in my personal point. Um, but he has still been solid. But Al Horford, his three ball isn't falling like it was in Boston. His free throw percentage is down because he's getting less opportunities to score because he has to share the wealth. 7.2 rebounds is decent, especially when you're playing with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. But you look at the assists, they're still there. You look at the points, 14, that's very good for Al Horford, and he has started and played in 17 games. So I'm not going to diss Al Horford. We knew that he was going to be the glue guy. We knew that he was going to make Joel Embiid and his team a lot better, just because if Joel Embiid miss a game, they still have Al Horford that can play power forward and center. But he has been solid. He hasn't been great, but he has been solid. And I think that's what is expected for a guy that's older. Right now at 33, I believe. Ben Simmons has been probably a bigger disappointment than Joel Embiid, as he has shown no signs of improvement. He actually showing signs of decline, which is, unacceptable, honestly, especially when you're an all-star and you're the number one pick and you're the rookie of the year, having the lowest scoring season of your career with 12.7 points. He's shooting 54% from the field. That's a career low. Um, he is shooting 50% from three, and that's an improvement. But I'm kidding. But his free throw percentage hasn't improved. His rebounding should have decreased because now they have Al Horford and Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid. So I understand that. But the 8.1 assists is still there. But offensively, he still lacks the aggression for a point guard. He still lacks the IQ to know when to attack and when not to attack. Ben Simmons is an ultimate team player. He's willing to sacrifice a lot just to be a team player, which is smart and good. But as an all-star and as a leader of this team, you need to step and elevate your game, especially when your team hasn't been living up to the hype that people thought that it would be. A lot of people have Philly as a top two team in the Eastern Conference, and they have played so much slow and very ugly. Their game might translate in the playoffs, but in the regular season, they have struggled to stay consistent, and that's important for a team that's trying to be a championship contender. Can you continue execute? Can you lock down possessions and get out ugly W's? And they have shown both sides of it, but you need them to do both every single game if they want to have the best chance of getting to the finals, and if they want to have a best chance of building a chemistry with each other, which is very important, especially when you look at the playoffs. And the East isn't as easy as I thought at the top, but if Philly continue to play the way they are, they can be a team that can get upsetted. But I do think they gained the ugliness, the size, and the ability to really lock down defensively and use Thibault and guys like that to guard guards and wings. And you still do have a team that can be trusted. We'll see what they do in the playoffs. I think this is a season where it's Eastern Conference or the finals or bust. It's no longer make it to the second round anymore for this Philly team. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons have had multiple times being in the playoffs. They have got the ugly losses. They have won games. They have forced a game 7 against Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors. There's no more excuses. This is a season where Philly should be dominant. This is a season where they get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals. And if they don't do that, then I think Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid is very overrated, because when you look at the team that they had last year, even the bench, even the starting lineup, is no reason why they should have never got to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think that this team is just as good when it comes to fit But there's no reason why they can't go to the finals or at least the Eastern Conference Finals, and there should be no excuses this year, just like it was last year. But this year, they had the defeat, they had the ugliness, they had the sadness, they had the disappointment, and now it's time for them to learn from their prior mistakes and become a better team, which I haven't seen them do just yet. And that's one of the biggest disappointments in this team is that they don't really seem as hungry this year. It seems like they're very comfortable, and it seems like they're just going to coast through the season, which to me, that fire got to be in your belly. That want got to be in your belly to prove and go out there and dominate. And they haven't shown or done that. And I'm disappointed in that in general. And when you look at Tobias Harris, this guy is 27 years old. He's a legitimate 6'8", 226. And he has become just a solid player for them. 48% from the field. His three-point shooting, his catch and shoot is all down. And he hasn't been able to knock down threes consistently for the last 2 years for the Philadelphia 76ers. And his floor spacing is something that's very, very important, and he hasn't been able to do that so far. And I think that has really hurt them, is that not only is he's not knocking down the three that well, he's not even knocking down the catch and shoot threes that well, and he hasn't been able to be that dominant wing scorer that can score and take on anybody. He hasn't done that either. So Tobias Harris has been a solid addition, but he hasn't lived up to the contract, and he hasn't lived up to the hype, and he might not even be an all-star. You paying a guy all this money, and he's not even playing at an all-star level, and I think that that's going to be a big disappointment for them if he doesn't pick it up and be a lot more consistent and give them that three-point shooting off the catch and off the dribble and some more playmaking. His playmaking hasn't been terrible. It actually has been decent, but I think he has to do more just because they need him to be better, especially since Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons isn't scorers or dominant perimeter players. They need somebody to be that, and Tobias Harris was supposed to be that, and they still do need him to become that now or during the season or definitely before the playoffs, and hopefully they can build that chemistry, and hopefully he can get it right before the playoffs start, and then that give them a good opportunity to do something special. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, like I said before. Let me know what you guys think about the Philadelphia 76ers. Are they disappointed? Are we overrating them? Are we getting mad too early? Are we, tripping? Whatever it is, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But one thing I will say is they haven't been that dominant, stingy team that we thought they would be. But then again, we not even 20 games into the season. So at the end of the day, maybe they got a little bit more time. Maybe they can figure it out, but they are locked into this roster financially, and they ain't gonna be able to really make that many moves. Um, so they kind of stuck this year. But at the end of the day, we'll see what they do. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.